Hello and welcome to this presentation on the Medmont Meridia corneal topographer. In this presentation we'll be looking at composite mapping. So we have a video here again and we're going to do some composite mapping on my husband's eye again. So let's get this video started. So you can see here that I've selected corneal topographer, and on this video I'm going to select the composite topography. So it's the one that looks a little bit like a flower. So here we click on this and this opens up the capture again. There we go. So that will pop up any second now. And we're just going to pause it in a moment. Right, so let's pause it here. So you can see that we've got our runway system and our eye again. But in the bottom of the screen we've got the instructions, and that's going to tell us what we need to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the patient looking straight ahead at the centre of the rings, and we're going to capture as we would have done for the standard capture. So we line up and we get ourselves into the right position. I've got a bit close here, so I'm coming back and the scores will begin to creep up. Here we are at 93 and we'll improve that just a little bit. Hopefully, there we go, to 97. So we've captured that one. So we're now going to pause again. And you can see that the instructions tell us to get the patient to look up approximately 4 rings from the centre. So the patient has to count those 4 rings and stay looking in that direction. So we now get the patient to look up and we're going to capture in exactly the same way. So we're lining up the rings, the centre of the rings with that vertical green line and getting that red line on the horizontal line. Once we've done that, we then need to get the patient to look down. Now, as you can imagine, this is the more challenging one because of the lid being in the way. We can get our patient to raise their eyebrow, as Chris just did there, and then that will get the lid out of the way. If necessary, you can try and get a finger round just to hold that lid up a little bit. And we're capturing the superior cornea that way. Now here we've paused and we're getting the patient to look to the left 4 rings, and you can see that that gets us to the limbus pretty much on that side. Once we've selected a good map from there, then we can then get the patient to look in the final direction, which is looking right 4 rings to the centre. And again, we're auto capturing and quality is improving. Once you finish the last one, it actually saves it and analyses it straight away. And you can see here that again, it's giving me the option to preview through these, making sure that we get rid of any extra data. Now, what is worth mentioning here is that when you build a composite, what it does is it adds together any overlapping areas and then adds in the extra peripheral areas. So it means that if you have any artifacts in the central data, it will actually get rid of that. And it will get rid of it because it just doesn't match any of the other maps. So here we are previewing through, and then when we're ready, we'll actually just click on finish. And it will begin to process that into the full map that we want to see. So the topography box will pop up again and we can close that. And here we have our composite map for our patient. So you can see that we have pretty much limbus to limbus coverage with just a little area superiorly missing for that patient. So here you can see that we're comparing a standard and a composite map. So on the left hand side we have the standard map, which is still showing really good coverage. We don't have any wedge-shaped pieces missed out because of the nose and the brow. So we're getting a nice circular topography. But on this patient with a reasonable sized cornea, we are losing a little bit around the limbus, superiorly and over to one side. When you compare that to the composite map on the right-hand side, you can see that we really have achieved limbus to limbus coverage. Therefore, we're just getting better coverage, better accuracy of the peripheral cornea. If you do this composite map on somebody where you would struggle to get even the standard level of coverage that we've got here for this patient, an example would be me with my small deep set eyes, then doing composite doesn't necessarily give you limbus to limbus, but it does increase the level of coverage significantly. Thank you very much.